Welcome to this week's edition of Outdoors Online, a weekly webcast produced by the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. I'm your host, Mike Anderson. My guest this week is A&S Coordinator Ben Holen. Ben, most people are probably familiar with A&S species in North Dakota, but give our viewers a little background.
Sure. I guess in North Dakota we currently have 6 kind of marquee aquatic nuisance species in the state. Everyone knows about zebra mussels. They're in the Red River, Ashtabula. We have Asian carp, so silver and bighead in the James River, curly leaf pondweed. Another one is in the Missouri River system, Lake Minnegoshi, a few small reservoirs, Ashtabula. We also have Eurasian water milfoil, which is in the Cheyenne River system. And then the most common one that everyone knows about, that's often not considered aquatic nuisance species anymore, is common carp.
Okay, what's Game and Fish's priorities this year for aquatic nuisance species?
Sure. I guess every year we have 3 main priorities, and it's education, monitoring, and inspection and enforcement. So this year we have increased education efforts to watercraft recreationists like jet skis, wakeboard boats. We work closely with a lot of partners that send out a lot of education, A&S education material too. Our monitoring program this year, we're planning to monitor over 100 lakes for zebra mussels and early detection. We do vegetation sampling every June. We also are planning to get out and do some crayfish sampling in the Southeast District this year. We do monitoring on Ashtabula. We're going to look at ecological changes because of zebra mussels, so we're going to look at water quality, just kind of food web dynamics, because zebra mussels are kind of master manipulators of food webs. We also are looking to do some prevention and inspection things. So this year, anglers should see a large increase of our inspection force on many of our water bodies. We're going to have 4 crews at Lake Oahe, Sakakawea, Devil's Lake, and then at Ashtabula. So we're going to have a wide presence on the landscape. These inspectors, I want to remind everyone, to practice our social distancing guidelines during these times. Our inspectors are going to do the best job they can to keep that distance and keep everyone safe, and while still being able to look for aquatic nuisance species on those watercraft. A large portion of that inspection is educating watercraft users of the proper A&S prevention techniques and just proper good techniques to keep A&S out of North Dakota. We also have increased game warden help, so a lot of our wardens are going to be doing A&S checks, help us just enforce our aquatic nuisance species rules and regulations.
So if anybody sees any of these inspectors, just cooperate.
Yep, cooperate and keep your distance, and we're here to keep everyone safe and protect the resources that we love. So,
okay, the 2019 legislature created an Ans Fund. Explain that, Ben.
Sure. The 2019 legislature created that Ans Fund. It gave us, approximately $750,000 per year. That fund is created through the new registration, watercraft registration, the new aquatic nuisance species sticker, and then surcharges on resident and non-resident waterfowl and fishing licenses. Those funds allow us to bolster our monitoring, our education programs, and also our prevention. We were able to hire a new aquatic nuisance species biologist, and she'll help us out doing all sorts of things from monitoring to running crews to all sorts of things like that. That money will allow us to purchase essential sampling equipment such as plankton tow nets and that we need to monitor our lakes. And so it'll be a real bolster in that. We also were able to hire a new warden position, so game wardens across the state will spend extra time to A&S enforcement checks. It also helps us do some applied research. I know it helps us if we want to do some zebra mussel studies or some crayfish things, and we now kind of have the freedom to do some of that stuff where we might not have in the past.
Ben, this is a first of a 3-year cycle for motorized watercraft in North Dakota. Explain what the ANS sticker is. There is a difference between the two.
Yep, there is. So this is, like you said, this is the start of the 3-year cycle. For watercraft that are registered in the state of North Dakota, they just have their regular decals that they've been using for the past, so many years, and those act as their $15 and they're a 3-year cycle.
So nothing's changed for
registered boaters in the state of North Dakota. For boats that are registered outside of the state of North Dakota, they'll have to purchase an aquatic nuisance species sticker, and these will go on the left side of their registration within 6 inches of that. And so that sticker is $15 annually, so they'll have to renew that every year.
Okay, and that goes to help fund
Yep, and that goes through our program and allows us to do lots of our monitoring, education, and adds personnel.
Okay, you explained a little bit about
Sure.
your monitoring program. What are you guys finding out?
We've had a couple of crews in the years past, and last year we surveyed 1,063 anglers and watercraft users and things of that. We found that the good news is a lot of them are very knowledgeable about our ANS rules and regulations. Vast majority of them practice clean, drain, dry. It's like 74%. Very few of them had water and residual water in them, 1%, and very few had vegetation left on their boat. So by and all, our anglers are doing pretty good. The tough news is, it only takes one in a lot of times with aquatic nuisance species. So there's still work to be done. Approximately 8% of our watercraft users were on a ANS-infested water body before they were surveyed on a non-infested water body. So there's work to be done, and just reiterating clean, drain, dry is important to keep out those aquatic nuisance species in our lakes. So.
Okay, a year ago about this time, zebra mussels were discovered in Lake Ashtabula and then eventually found in the Cheyenne River.
Sure.
What's going on with that?
Right now we're going to do some monitoring this year of zebra mussels in Ashtabula. This is a new for North Dakota. We've never had them in North Dakota reservoir, so it's going to be important to monitor both biological and ecological changes associated with zebra mussels. We plan to do some water quality. We plan to do some zooplankton and just looking at vegetation growth, so we can really see the food web alterations that zebra mussels cause. We're also going to look at some zebra mussel settlements, some densities and stuff like that, so we know when to have our inspectors out and when are the key times when we need to be out there. And watercraft users know the key times of when zebra mussels are in the water system, so they understand the risk.
Okay, other than zebra mussels, obviously all of the ANS are important, but any other species you're focusing on?
This year, in the past few years, we've had some real high water in the James River system, so we've had both bighead and silver carp move up all the way to the dam there in Jamestown. And so we're really going to do some poking around this fall to look for any recruitment or anything like that these Asian carp populations may have in the state. No recruitment's ever been documented this year. Besides that, we plan to do some crayfish surveys in August, and so the last time we did those surveys were in 2013, so it'll be nice to get on a cycle of those and look at our crayfish here in North Dakota.
Okay, what can recreationists do to stop the spread of aquatic nuisance?
Sure. It's important that everyone knows if you're a watercraft owner, to go out and follow the ANS regulations. Take a few minutes to look on our website, inspect and remove all vegetation. You got to remove all drain plugs and water storing devices, and then it really comes down into cleaning, draining, drying your boat. Mud, aquatic organisms, residual water, vegetation, they're all harbors of ANS, and so if you take a few steps every time, every launch, you can reduce those biological risks of spreading ANS in North Dakota.
A lot of great information, Ben. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
To find out more information about aquatic nuisance species in North Dakota, visit the Game and Fish Department's website at gf.nd.gov. For ANS Coordinator Ben Holen and the rest of the staff here at the Game and Fish Department, thanks for joining us for this week's Outdoors Online. We'll see you again next week.